Peace, love, and light. My name is Brandy, and welcome to my channel, Be Shields. Today we are going to be making high protein flatbread. Yes, with only a few simple, easy ingredients. Why pay more when you can make it for less? So the first ingredient we have is going to be 1 cup of unbleached all-purpose flour. Okay, so we have 1 cup of all-purpose bleached flour, unbleached flour, excuse me. And then here we have chickpea flour. Now this chickpea flour, I made it myself. I mean, you can go out and purchase it if you like, but you can make it for far less. You just take a bag of dry chickpeas and you put it on high in your blender and blend until you get a flour consistency, and there you go, voila, you have chickpea flour. Okay, so why sit up there and pay an arm and a leg for something that you can get for under $2? Okay, so we have about, oh, I put too much, but we want about a 1/4 cup of chickpea flour. See, and it's very fine, like flour, almost like a cornmeal consistency. If you have a high power blender, it will come out finer, but I don't. I have just a regular blender. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna put a 1/4 cup of that, and then we need a tablespoon and a half. I'm gonna use, because I want my bread soft. So we're gonna use a tablespoon and a half of baking powder, and then just another half. Okay, and let's see, and a little bit of salt. Now I'm gonna say it's about a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I use pink salt. Also, you can use sea salt. I choose to use pink salt. Now what you want to do is mix all of those together. Okay, now in this part I don't measure, but what I'm going to do is place in this jar some warm water. I have a filter. If you don't have a filter, try to use bottled water and just get it a little warm, as warm as you can. Okay, yes. There we go. I'm just going to fill her up there, and I just pour a little bit at a time. Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to move you to a place where you can see me. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We have the water. Let me move my baking powder out of the way here. Now, what I have done is incorporated all the dry ingredients in this bowl. So a recap, that is 1 cup of unbleached all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of chickpea flour, which you can make yourself, a tablespoon and a half of baking powder, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use pink Himalayan salt. And now what I'm going to do is to coat my surface with a little bit of flour here, okay, so that my dough doesn't stick. Now I'm going to slowly incorporate my water. Okay, I'm not going to incorporate all, and if I need a little more flour, I'm going to do so. Now I'm using my hands to mix this, but you don't have to. You can use a spoon or you can use a mixing bowl. I choose to use my hands and knead as I go along, okay? You're going to incorporate more water as you need it. I'm going to just put a drop more and just a little bit at a time. So we're going to that out. Now while you're doing this, you can take the time to preheat your pan. Okay, excuse me there as I was getting my stove on. It's a little temperamental there. But I have my dry non-stick pan heating up. Now it has to be like a little skillet, maybe an omelet skillet or a frying pan non-stick. You're not going to put any oil in it, okay? And you just let that get nice and warm. Now when you finish, your dough should look just like this, like a big ball of dough, not too wet. You don't want it too dry either. Okay, if it's a little too wet, you can add flour, and if it's a little too dry, you can add a little more water, but you want your dough very pliable. Okay, I mean, this recipe is so simple. You gotta love it. So you're gonna take a section into a ball like so. You're gonna flatten it out here on your surface. Here we go. Sprinkle with a little bit of flour. Okay, and then instead of a rolling pin, I have a jar. If you have a rolling pin, great, but you can always improvise. And I'm just using a jar that I upcycled. I think this jar had olives in it. As long as it's round, it works just fine. Okay, so you're gonna roll this out, and you're not gonna apply too much pressure. Okay, just enough to get it rolled out. Okay, and then let me dust off my hands here. Maybe wash them a little bit. There we go. And dry them off. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to place them into my pan one at a time, okay? Now it's gonna take, I don't know if you can see this, but it's gonna take about a minute per side. You're gonna wait till your flatbread has bubbled in order to flip it. Okay, it takes about a minute to do so. And the heat you're gonna have it on is about medium high because you don't want to burn it. Your flour will burn. Yes, and I just love, love, love fresh bread, especially flatbread. It's an inexpensive way, especially when you have little ones that eat a lot of bread or you like a lot of bread. And it's great for dipping in olive oil, but I'm going to do something different with it for my lunch today. So while that is cooking, you're going to roll out another one. Okay, and you're going to repeat the process until you're finished, one at a time. Okay, now look how fast that was. It's time for me to flip that flatbread, I think, yes, in a second more. Okay, it's a little bit too thick. Yeah. Okay, so now I am ready to flip that over. Let me get a spatula. Okay, so now that I have flipped that, this is pretty much rolled out. I want it a little bit thinner. It's a little too thick. Okay, but you're just going to roll it out until you get the ideal size, being right here. Okay. And excuse the lighting in here. I've been having issues with my light, my overhead light. So I am using a lamp right now. I have the crazy fluorescent light in my apartment. Yes. Okay, and you're just going to repeat this process. Okay. Now, this recipe is going to make about 5 flatbreads. Okay, about 5. But you know, I don't need that many. Now, I don't know if you can freeze your dough. I have never done that before. I usually just make the whole batch, considering I have my son and, you know, my children are here home with me and my grandson. So I tend to make enough for everyone. Right now, I am making a very small batch. Let me get that flatbread off of the stove and put the next one on. Okay. So I'm going to put another one on here. There we go. And move one to the side. And while that's cooking, I'm going to whip out another. And yes, it makes about 5. So a cup and a half, a cup and 1/4 will make 5 pieces of flatbread. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do with mine today, I have these lovely beans left over, black beans left over from last night's dinner. And so I'm going to top mine with the black beans and some kind of sweet. I made a very nice pineapple salsa, which I think will go great with the black beans. Okay, and again, it's ready for me to flip. And just that easy, you have rolled out. And again, just flatten, dust with your flour, and roll out. Oh my goodness, you know, it is so hot in this kitchen. Extremely hot. You know, but that's Texas heat for you. I got the AC going, I got fans going, but you know, I have a small kitchen and it just does not have a lot of space. But yes, so give me 1 second, guys, and I will be right back. I gotta wash my hands here. They're loaded with flour. You know, and I like to clean my kitchen as I go, so yes, I'm going here. Flour up. Let's put everything back where it belongs. Yes. And let's check this flatbread out. Yep. Okay. And of course you continue going until you have all your pieces of flatbread made. Yes, and so now, just give me a minute. I'm going to clean up this counter here and get to putting toppings and make my plate. And we'll see what the finished product turned out like, okay? Yes, guys, I am back, you know, and I fixed my plate and everything, and the bread turned out absolutely beautiful. And I would like to share with you my toppings. So, let me see if I can get y'all here. There we go. We have jerked black beans with the pineapple salsa and a side of Egyptian rice. Okay, now it's time for the taste test. Let's see. Yes, the flatbread is so soft, and it's a great way to sneak in extra protein by adding the chickpeas, and then you got the spiciness of the jerked black beans and the sweetness and acidity of the pineapple salsa. Overall, fabulous dish, fabulous dish. And you know, you could do so much with the flatbread. We even use them for sandwiches, and the possibilities are endless. So keep an open mind and try something different. Save yourself some money. You know, why pay $6, anywhere from $5 to $6 for flatbread when you can make it for a few cents on the dollar? Thank you very much. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, and tell me if you would like to see more videos like this. Peace.